I'm the PI of the INSPECTA project, and today myself and development team, who is in the room and behind the camera, will be demonstrating INSPECTA 1.0. We're going to showcase 3 different skills developed to support an IAEA inspection task, and in this case it's going to be seal examination. We're also going to be showing the INSPECTA user interface today. I want to start out by caveating this with I've had minimal experience actually handling the INSPECTA capability, and that is by design today so that we can show that you don't need to be an expert in order to operate INSPECTA. We are at Sandia Lab at the Center for Global Security and Cooperation in what's called the Containment and Surveillance Lab. We've set up this surrogate area to perform the demonstration with containers and metal cup seals attached. And so we can show the benefit of INSPECTA. I'm going to walk you first through how an inspector would examine these seals. So I would be dressed in PPE, probably with some gloves, and the facility operator would escort me into this room where the seals and the containers are. I would come find the first container. I would have a physical printout of all the seals that I have to examine, as well as the container numbers. And so I would first come over and find the seal. In this case, it says 131. Find a container number, which we don't really have demonstrated here. And I would take the piece of paper and match, seal 131 with the container ID. So the correct seal being on the correct container, and then physically check that off as examined. I might also tug on the seal, make sure it is still attached, and then do a physical and tactile examination of the seal to look for any signs of tamper. Then I would go ahead and move on to the next seal. One thing I want to mention is that when we're doing seal examination, we are being very specific about that term. In this case, we can examine it, but we can't fully verify it. To verify it, you would have to cut the seal off and take it back to IAEA headquarters. And there's some authenticating features inside this sort of a random scratch pattern that would then be used to authenticate the seal back at headquarters. So we're not able to do that in the field with this seal. Let's see, and so the last thing I want to mention is the INSPECTA app. All the software and modules were developed sort of in an offline environment, and then they've been loaded on a Google Pixel 6. And so today when I go through the demonstration, I'll have a Google Pixel 6, and what's important about that with the hardware is that we actually have no network connectivity. So we're not using cloud servers, we're not connecting via Wi-Fi or cellular. All of the modules are running in an offline on-device mode. So next I'll walk through basically the 3 skills we've developed, as well as showing the user interface. Okay, so I am now on the Google Pixel 6. It's a smartphone. I open up the phone, press the INSPECTA app, and there is a main dashboard that you can see on this screen record. So this is the dashboard. It shows today's date in the upper right, the agenda for this week. So if you were on an inspection, you would see day 1, day 2, day 3, for example. And you can see right from here, day 1, 12 of 12 tasks complete. Let's take a look at day 2. So if I see 4 of 10 tasks. So if I click on day 2, now you can see kind of the upper left black, it says all. I can see all the tasks for the day. So on the left, we have seal examination, task 2, 3, 4, and so on. We've only implemented the seal examination task. These other tasks would be for future placeholders. The middle part says progress, and here you can see a visual indication of how much progress has been made on that task, and then a numeric one with how many have been complete out of the total number. Also, in the middle upper part, you can see this filter of the remaining tasks, as well as a filter with complete tasks. So I will go back to all. From this screen, you can press seal examination, and that will take you directly to the optical character recognition module. We'll demonstrate that later. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the back arrow, and then up here with the 3 horizontal lines, if I press the main dashboard, that will be where I just was. And then I'll mention the notifications, settings, and help are placeholders, but I can click on notes from here, and we'll go through this in a bit, but just to show you, all the notes have time and date stamps, and then you can also add these tags. And so let's see, if I press here, it shows this is a note from a previous inspection, and an inspector can, besides date and timestamp, add these tags, like you can see FACA, so that would be facility. So you can create these tags to help you, if you want to say I'm at a particular reactor, or maybe there's some other keyword or tag that you want to use for a note. Let's see, so like I said, we'll go through how to create notes and read notes back later. And so that is it for the app for now. We are going to demonstrate how to take a note. So that'd be voice to text, as well as having INSPECTA read notes back using speech synthesis. So I'm getting back to the INSPECTA app. We're at the main dashboard again. I can select note. So I'm going to make a note, so I have to tell INSPECTA that I'm making a note. So at the bottom right where the microphone is, I'll press that. Make a note.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
I am demonstrating voice to text.
Note saved.
Okay, so now I'm going to press the microphone again and ask INSPECTA to read my note. Read my notes from today.
Reading notes from today. Note taken on the 9th of December 2022, 11 hours 45 minutes and 0 seconds AM. I am demonstrating voice to text.
Okay, that is the note taking capability. And you can also see, again, as we talked about earlier, the ability to add some tags or basically keywords to these. And that's it for this demo. Okay, so now I'm going to show the seal examination task. So I go back into the INSPECTA app. And here we have the dash that shows the tasks from different days. And what I'm going to do is instruct INSPECTA to start seal examination. Start seal examination task.
Okay, starting seal examination task.
Okay, so I'll go over to the first seal, make sure it's upright. And as soon as that box turns green, you know that the OCR has captured an image. I'll also mention those boxes and numbers. Those are confidence levels. We may or may not use that in the final version. So come down to the next seal, turn green, so we're good there. The next seal, turn green. This one's got some reflections a little bit. So that one turned green, and then I'm going to go ahead and skip this seal. We'll show what it looks like when you don't verify all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and hit back, and here under the seal examination task, all is highlighted, and so we can see the status of each seal that was expected to be on the list. If it's green, so like 134 has been examined, 133 has been examined, 137 and 131. You can see here 132 is orange and it says flag for follow-up. So that means we did not capture that during this activity. Seal 141 was one that we used in a different space for testing, and so that one we didn't expect to find. So if I hit remaining, I can see the two that were not verified, and again, just one of these in this room was located, and then which ones are complete. And let's see, so down at the bottom, we'll see 4 out of 6 examined, and we have a placeholder here for replaced. We don't have this implemented yet, but there are instances where the inspector comes in and has to cut a seal off and replace it. So that's a placeholder for that.